What's up guys, this is Hunter Gaming and today we are back again with another video, and today I'm gonna do a deck profile on my Gaga Time Dragon. It's been a very long time since I did a deck profile and buddyfight is already pretty much dead, but you know what, to commemorate the memories of buddyfight, I'm gonna do last deck profile for them for buddyfight. So this is my deck that I have been using quite recently. It's a combination of Time Dragon and Gaga. So let's get on with it. Of course, the flag is the clock. Each clock have its own unique ability. Okay. For our buddy, we'll play 3 copies of Shin Gaga. Shin Gaga because I can play other different Gagas from other world. When I use him, I could immediately just, if I have him in the soul, I attack already. At the end of the battle, I could draw a card. If I got another Gaga, I can GUO. After my attack phase, I could pay 1 gauge and call over again to get another attack. So this is why I play Shin Gaga. Let's move on to the size zeros. Okay, we play 1 copy of Time Scott Loop. The reason why we need this card is to get our flag, our main flag. If you want to turn off 4 flags over, and also it's a searcher, and it also allows me to get 10,000 power and 10,000 defense and +2 critical. So it's a very strong card if you change into Overgod 0. So it's a key card in this deck when you turn into Overgod 0. The next card that I play 1 copy of is Time Scout Bull. Basically it's a charge and draw if you already reversal 2 times. It's a guaranteed charge and draw, so pretty useful. In Time Dragon, you pretty much want to draw out your Gaga to activate his skill, so drawing is important. The next card that I play 2 copies of is Time Scout Sophian. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's pretty much a counter, like one of the Star Dragon World monster. Like during your opponent turn, when they're trying to attack your size 3 Iona, then you want to redirect, you can call this card out to your left or right. It redirects the attack to this card, and when this card is attacked and your flag is already reversal 2 or more times, you can draw a card. So it's basically this card, but you can call it during your opponent's turn and redirect the attack. So pretty good card. Okay, the last size 0 that I play 2 copies of is Time Scout Vegas. This card is very useful because it allows me to trigger my set spells ability to chuck back into the deck, and then I can draw a card when I reversal 2 or more times. It's pretty useful. Like if you play like a lot of, like if you are playing Manjo always, or like if you are playing Time Dragon Mirror Match, you might need this card. This card like will send back all the important cards that your opponent need. So 2 copies is very good. Okay, let's move on to the size 2s of this deck. I will play 2 copy of Time Soldier Spiegel. I don't know how to pronounce his name either, but he's basically clock 1, I guess. His ability is look top 3 cards of the deck and put 1 into hand, and if you reversal 2 or more time, you get to charge the rest of them. It's pretty much a very good search mechanic if you are searching for a key card that you are looking for. But the bad thing is you only can call him 1 time, like once per turn. So 2 copies is good enough for this deck. Let's move on to the next. I play 2 copies of Time Observer Ochitoho. I don't know how you pronounce. It basically nullifies all the abilities of your opponent card during their turn if you have a size 3 monster on your field. So pretty much if you have your big monster, like the main card, that Eon, I guess. Yeah, Eon. If Eon's on your field, you use this card, you drop this, and you can counter all the abilities of your enemy. So pretty much they are useless. So this card is really needed in this deck. So we play 2 copies. Let's move on to the Gagas that I play in this deck. I play 1 copy of I don't even know how to say. Fickle Dragon of Black Flames Gargantua Phantom. He basically bombs the whole entire enemy field and deals equals damage to it. So imagine if your opponent's playing Gear God, they have like, I don't know, like 5 monsters on your field. You call this out, you G Evo in, you bomb the whole thing, you deal 5 damage. It's pretty amazing. If you want to clear the whole field like immediately, just use this card. It's pretty useful. So I play 1 copy. The next Gaga that I play is the Deity Gargantua Dragon Duo Mode. Basically, I got this card from the new set. What's the new set called again? Ragnarok. Yeah. Basically, its ability is you get 10,000 power, and if you G Evo, you destroy up to 2 cards. It's pretty good. It's basically this card, but it's 2 times better because it allows you to also get another extra 10k to all Dragon Deity tribe. So it's pretty good card, and it also has 3 crits, 10,000 power and 10,000 defense. So it's basically wrecking you for like a 20,000 and 3 crit with a double attack and penetrate. You can, and it also has counter attack. So imagine if you have your Gaga inside on your field, and then another one, you can use this during your opponent turn. G Evo, skill activate. When they attack, you counter attack back, and then skill effect, you destroy the monster. You destroy already, and then if they see one, you can just do this, and then the attack will be missed. So it's a pretty good combo. And let's move on. We have Wind Demon Dragon Gargantua Dragon. Of course, you need to play him because you want to end the game as fast as possible. If you have this card, you are pretty much like, it's an easy dub. You can just clone out like every single turn. Another combo that I like to use is Gaga, G Evo, skill activate, call out 2 clones, and then whack for another like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Shinji Evo, 9, 10, 11, draw 1 card, 11, if I draw out another Gaga, I can just straight away call out another one. So it's a pretty good combo. And last size 2 I play is Thunder Deity Wind Demon Dragon. Basically, it's another version of this card, the Wind Demon, but instead, when this card attack, you can call another clone. So it's basically an overpowered version of that. Yeah, pretty insane. It's basically a very amazing deck to burst with your Gaga, and even when you combine it with a Time Dragon, it's just even more deadly. Okay, let's move on to the size 3s. I'll play one copy of Time General Tarbokas. His skill is basically just you chuck this card into your drop zone during your turn and you gain 3 life, and then you also send this card back from your drop zone into your deck and you will destroy a card on your opponent field. Basically a destruction card. A card for a card on your field. A card on your field bombs a card on your opponent's field. So it's very strong. You need to play one copy of it only. It's not really necessary to play that many, but I just want to play one copy because there are some cards that I really need to get rid of in my opponent's field. And we'll play one copy of 4th Omi Lord Nova. Of course, this card is very important. Whenever you got like 0 life, you straight away call this out. Nova saves and clutches everything. And this card will definitely stay on the field. Basically, your opponent can't do anything to you. And somehow, it has a triple attack with a whopping 4 critical. You basically just whack them after they end their turn and you win the game. Next, we have 2 copies of Eon, the original version. Basically, during your turn, you attack them, you nullify all abilities of a card, and then you send it back to your opponent's deck. So it's very strong. I mean, that's why you need to play 2 copies. But depending on the situation, if you want to kill them instantly, I suggest you not to play too many copies of this card. You should play more of the secret pack one. Okay, 2 copies of the secret pack version of Eon. It's basically the opposite of the other original Eon. The original Eon sends back during your turn when you attack, but this card is during your opponent's attack phase, beginning of their attack phase, you nullify everything and you send it back. So basically, if they have like a Gaga on their field, and they start their attack phase, you nullify everything, you send it back. Or if they have a destroyer, you just nullify all the destroyer ability and you send it back. Pretty much a deadly combo. You would never want to face Time Dragon. And the next size 3 we play is Time General Taylor Lana. Basically, it has a very good skill which you can call Eon and then call this because it reduces its size by 3, so it's basically a size 0. And it also able to destroy up to 1 card on the opponent field. And if your flag is basically turned into the 4 big monster that deals 12 crit and unable to nullify when it's attacking alone, you can put 1 card from your opponent's field into bottom of your deck. So this deck is basically just chucking all the cards from opponent's field or the drop zone back into the deck. So basically it's just resetting the whole game. And it's also pretty tanky because it does have 10,000 defense. So if you want to have this in the center and you want to have Eon on the side, it's also perfect. Now let's move on to the last size 3 that we play in this deck. Is Time General Zitiweg. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. It's basically a very good card that gives 10,000 power 1 crit. And it basically, if you have a drag out on your field, it basically just stops the whole game. So if you have your Gaga on your field, you call this card, and then you pay 1 gauge or 2 gauge, I've forgotten. You pay 1 gauge and you end the whole battle. So basically this card nullifies everything on your opponent field. It's very strong. That's why I play 2 copy of this card. and it also has counter attack. So if you have this in center, you have Gaga on your side, and they attack, you got 1 gauge, you pay 1 gauge, they attack first, they attack center, you got 1 soul, second soul, and then they attack your center again, you can pay 1 gauge, you end the whole battle. Basically, you just nullify their attack. It's a very good card. That's why I play 2 copies. Okay, now let's move on to the set cell. There's only 1 set spell in this deck. It's Chronosin Ritually. Basically, if you charge, you send back a card, you charge and draw. So it's a pretty useful card. In this deck, you want to draw as many cards as possible to get to your Gaga form and to get into Lost World very fast. If you still have this card on your field and you have the size 0 and you are in Lost World, it's very good. And let's move on to the search spell or draw mechanics. We play 3 of Chronos Sin and Anita. It basically allows you to charge and search for Eon or your Overgod 0 or your Impact card. So it's basically very good. And somehow if you got not enough gauge to call Eon, you can just basically use this card. And the next card that I play is 2 copies of Chronos Battle Arch. Basically, it allows you to draw 2 cards once you have 2 or more reversal. And then we have the last draw mechanic spell, I guess, is this card, Chronos Augment. I don't know how to pronounce its name, but whatever it is, the card allows you to like get back 1 of your Time Dragon cards. So if you it's your last turn and then like if it's your turn and then you know when you are getting the next turn, you know that you have all the defense spell already, your opponent like want to finish you off but you already defended everything, you know that you can go to the last set of like when you turn all 4 flags already, right? Before you end your turn, like before your opponent turn, you use this spell, get back a Eon, put it into your hand. When your opponent ends his turn, you basically drop this and you turn into the other 4 flags. Pretty useful. And it also gains 3 life, charge 3 gauge. So pretty useful card. Let's move onto the destruction and nullify spells. I will play 1 copy of Chronos Trophy. It basically destroys a card or it sends back a card. So I play 1 copy. It's not that really useful, but it's good to have it. And we play 1 copy of Chronos Royuser. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it sends a card on your field or to number of reversals you did. So basically, if you reversal 5 times and you go to Overgod 0, you can just use your Gaga, the other cards on your field, you just whack and you basically get another turn. And even if it's your final phase, you still can attack again. So this is a very good card that I would always try to end my opponent with. Next card that I play 1 copy is Chronos Chronograph. It basically reduces all damage to 0, or either you bounce a card from opponent field into bottom of deck. So it triggers off the set spell effect also. Very good card. And then we have Chronosin's Block End. This is another dangerous card that you will never want to mess with. Basically, you can shut down the whole entire opponent's field. you can just pay 2 gauge and then you end the whole turn. And then if you are not into your 4 flag, when you turn over all 4 flags, and then you can just wait for them to attack 3 times. You use this, it's basically a buddy block. You just use this, you end your turn. So it's very good. I play 1 copy of it though. And then we play 2 copies of ES. ES is a very good card that allows your like monsters to stay on the field and not get destroyed by opponent's card effect, and all your cards on your field cannot be rested. And the ability that I like is it allows you to draw a card. So very useful. Especially a lot of cards from Star Dragon Ball likes to like rest our cards. So I don't like to see a lot of cards getting rested during my turn, so I can cast this card. And the next card is 2 copies of Chronos Reverse. Basically a spell now. The opponent casts this, you can just use this, and then they will just instantly regret because it's just a very good card to use in this deck, especially when they have like this very like crucial moment when they have like 1 health, they cast like a green dragon shield or whatever. You can just pay 2 gauge, you just cast this and spell now. Very good spell. It's a must play if you are facing a heavy spell deck. And last but not least, for notify spells, we play 2 copies of Kestra. Basically, you can charge 2 cards and you gain 2 life and you draw a card when your flag is reversed 3 or more time. So very good draw mechanic, gain and charge also, basically everything. And then we have Gaga spells that we are going to next. We play 1 copy of Battle of Glory. This card is very good, it's basically an upgrade of the next card that I'm gonna show. Basically it is like you call one of the Gaga from the field and put the rest. I really don't know the card, but I've forgotten it already. But look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose a monster with Dragon and Deity Dragon Tribe. So basically any Gagas that is in your deck, and then you can call it without paying its core cost on top of a Dragon monster on your field. So this even works with your Time Dragon, the Eon. So if Eon's on your field, you still got not enough attack, you cast this spell, you look top 5 and you got Gaga, you call it on top of it, and you whack for another 3 damage. You draw a card, you draw until another Gaga, you can just, especially if you draw until Wind Demon, you attack, another 2, another 2, another 2, another 2, and Shinji Evo, you will got another attack. Basically unlimited attacks. Very strong. And not only that, the monster also gets 5000 power and 5000 defense. Very good card. It's a must play if you are like using Gaga in your deck. And the next card that I play is 2 copies of Radiant Combat Deity Glory. It's basically this card, but this card is much better than this one, because this only allows you to call from drop zone, it's not from your deck. So if you have like this card, you can just call from drop zone and put it on top, and then you just whack. So basically a very strong card, but I think the other card's better than this card. So I play 2 copies only. And we will move on to the rest cards. I play 3 copies of Chrono Prayer. Basically, rest the Press as many cards as the number of cards that you reversal. So if you reversal 5 times, you rest 5 cards on your opponent field. As simple as that. And of course, the most clutch card, the most clutch spell of all time, Chronosync Morbins. It basically resets your whole entire field, or your whole entire deck basically. So you reset your life, you reset your gauge, you reset your drop zone, you reset your hand. But your monsters and items and set spells are still on your field. So you basically charge 2, you draw 6, and you gain your life becomes 10 again. Very strong card. So if you are like at 1 life left, you can basically change the game again. And last but not least, we have the impact. I play 1 copy of it. Basically, you just cast this and your flag is reversal 4 times, you win the game. Just deal 12 damage repeatedly 1 by 1. Like 1 damage by 1 damage 12 times. So it's just a 12 damage card. And of course, you must have 2 copies of Lost 4. So to make it overkill and make your opponent regret playing you for the whole life. And of course, we need to play Overgod 0. Overgod 0 is basically a upgraded version of this 4 version of it, when you turn all 4 flags to this big monstrosity card. Once you use this, you can just use Overgod 0, turn everything over, and then you got this. If you drop 6, you basically can't nullify this attack, and all the cards on your opponent field and on their hands can't nullify the attack. You basically just whack them for 12 and they are dead. So very good card. And if you want to overkill it more, if they are not dead yet, I don't know how, but you can just pay 2 gauge, Lost 4, and you basically win the whole match. So that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and if you like this video, like and subscribe and share this video. Hope to see you guys again. Bye!